Hello and welcome to another Blender tutorial. My name is Brad and this is Dragonfire 360 Tutorials. Today we're going to be showing you, let's see here if I can get to it. Okay, today we'll be showing you how to do, how to set up, if you don't know Python and you're not good with scripting, I'm going to show you the easiest way to do this. To add like bone layers where you can turn on and off layers. Oops. And so you can add sliders right here in your user interface panel on the properties panel to control things like this. I will show you how to set up to control a bone constraint, how to drive this one here. I'm also going to show you how to set up a driver and drive the driver with this. Okay, so then I will also show you one more thing, how to set up for shape keys, so you can control shapes on an object. Okay, and that's basically, it's your sliders here, but it's just controlling this key value here, as you can see. And I'm going to show you how to do this with ease, hopefully, and to where you can do very minimal programming. Now, as you can see here, there's a lot of programming there, but you shouldn't have to type anything in hardly at all. And you're going to say, well, how can I do that? Well, I have created a new program. It's called Visual BPY, the Rig Edition, and this is made specifically for, I will make this free of charge to download, and it's specifically for Blender panels and putting in buttons and adding panels inside of Blender. Right now, I've only got the user interface panel, more to come in the future, hopefully, but like I say, it's free of charge, and it is Creative Commons. You can share it, share alike. You can share it with anybody you want. I will provide the links in the description of where to download it, as well as I will have another video you can watch that will show you how to install it. This here, this is the donate button, so don't forget that, because this will help me further this project, I hope to, depending on how many donations I get. You can set whatever amount you want. There's no specific amount. Donate as little as $1 or 50 cents even, I don't care. Whatever you can contribute that would help me further this project, I think you'll find it interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and get started here. I will show you how to work it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with, let me close this out and open up a new Blender. Okay, just a second. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and starting with this here, I'll show you how to, we'll just move the cube off to the side here. Let's go ahead and set up our shape keys for it. For the box, for the cube. Just add this, hit twice. We need one for the basis and one for the key 1. We'll leave that, we're not going to change the name of that. And this value will drive key 1, just in case you don't know how that works, how shape keys work. Just tab into edit mode. Let me bring up the end panel here and start screencast keys. Oh. Okay, so now you can see what I'm pushing. And we'll just grab this down, push this down here, and grab this one and pull it down, make an odd shape out of it like that. Okay, and when I tab back out of edit mode, you can see it goes back to normal. But if we drive this key here, the shape key, it makes it go back to that shape we had. Okay, so now we've done that. Now we're going to add an armature. Just Shift A, go down to add the standard human rig. Let's go ahead and let's hit period to center around him. Hit 1 to go to face view or front view. Let's move this cube out of the way. Size the cube down a bit. Okay, now what we're going to do is, first thing we're going to do is change the name of the armature. Okay, so we'll make it a unique name. I'm just going to name it Brad after me, and I'm going to capitalize the first letter. Now that's important that you remember, because everything in Python is case sensitive, so capital B. Now, I just want to show you a difference here. This is under the object name, so that's the object name. But there's also a thing called the object data name. If you go to the object data tab, if you hold that up, and it's actually just called armature, okay? And there's a difference between the two. See, when I changed this name from armature to Brad, it didn't change this name. And just to demonstrate for you what the difference is, I'm just going to duplicate this. And then I'm going to select, we'll call this is Brad.001. So we're gonna make this linked to the same armature as this one. So now they're both linked to the same armature. Now you might, if you went into pose mode and say you pose a bone, it won't move the bones in this one over here. They are individual in that way, and that's because they have different object names. But they are linked to the same armature, so they do have the same bones. So if I was to edit, tab into edit mode, and edit this bone, or something like that, as you can see, it changes that. Or, there we go. So they do share that. So just to let you know how that works. Now I'm going to go ahead and tab into object mode, control tab, and I'm going to delete this armature because we only want this one to work with right now. Okay, now let's go ahead and tab back into edit mode. I'm going to select that bone, Shift D, duplicate, go up here, rotate it, something like that. And then we're going to set up, now we're going to go into pose mode and set up under bone constraints, add a constraint, copy rotation. And then we're going to set it to, what's going on here? Oh, there we go. I set up the copy rotation to the wrong one. Select that bone. Copy rotation. And select Brad. And then we got to select what we want it to do. We want this bone to copy the rotation of this bone. So the way we do that is this bone is named upper arm.L, and this is upper arm.L.001. So select upper arm.L.001, and now that copies the rotation. But if we slide it down, the influence level, it won't copy the rotation completely. Okay, so now if I rotate this bone, as you can see, it rotates them all. Okay, so now we've got that set. Now we're going to add a driver. We're going to, let's take the leg here, and let's go ahead and tab back into edit mode, duplicate that, bring it over on the X axis, rotate it just like we did the other one. And I know this isn't practical, but this just shows you, I'm just doing it for an example. You would never really use it like this, but okay. So now what we want to do is go to our object data. Always remember where you put these properties and stuff. But we're gonna. We need to copy constraints. So we need to go back into pose mode, and we want this bone to copy the constraints of that bone. And the way we do that is this bone is thigh.r, and this bone is thigh.r.001. So go to our constraints, copy rotation, go to Brad, and type in thigh, and 001. There we go. And now we are copying the influence that way. And now we want to add a driver to this one, okay? And then we'll just slide this panel on over and change this to a graph view, and then change this to drivers. And with this driver selected, bring up our in panel inside here. Let's get our T panel out of the way there. Okay, now we want to go to, from down here where it says drivers, go to average value. Okay, it comes up with an error, but don't worry about that. Change this to single property. We want to change this to our, let's see, armature. There it is. And change this as well to, depending on what its name is. In this case, it should be armature, because if we look at this, the object data name is what you go by. Okay, and now we need to, we're driving, we want to, under this object data, and it's important that you put this under the object data and not under just object. We're going to go to custom properties, and we're going to add a custom property, and we're going to edit it and change the name of this to leg, and leave these 0 and 1 as the minimum and maximum values. Say OK, and you don't have to change the name, but it's good to name your properties. And then all you have to do is just go here and copy data path, and then go up here and hit Control V to paste it, and it says just leg. That's all there is to it, not much. Okay, and now, as you can see, we have this is now driving our constraint. Now, the reason why you want to use a driver in some cases is because you can also add scripted expressions, and you can control things here by doing some math. I'll say you wanted to do it at a fraction. Say, well, let's re-edit this. So you want to change the value from 0 to 1 to 0 to 10. Okay? And then what we want to do is we want to make this move in increments smaller, so 0.1. And then what that does is, now if we scroll this, it moves much slower. It gives us more room to move, because we're going from 0 to 10 instead of 0 to 1. You know, it's just things like that. You can add more control. So that's what a driver is good for. Plus, you can add other, you can combine multiple constraints and have one driver control several constraints altogether. And that is also important. So there's many things you can do with drivers. If you don't understand what the why you use a driver as opposed to just linking directly to the copy rotation constraint, this tutorial is not about that, so let's move on. Okay, now what's left? We've got our driver set up. Well, we're looking pretty good. Okay, I think that I'm going to go ahead and end this here for part 1 of setting how to set up the scene, and then we'll come back into it and finish it out in part 2 on how to use the new program, Visual BPY. Okay, I will see you in the next tutorial.